Hey, it's me, the True Party King from the Mind Crush Palace. Just updating you with my little Vegas experience. Not the most ideal Vegas experience, even though overall it was so much fun. Definitely love RBETs way more than Ultimate Time Wizards. Let's just say that overall. RBETs, even at their worst, is better than an Ultimate Time Wizard. Just say that straight up. Because I'd say, the expo, you having to buy this whole big ticket, and then each of the days being kind of expensive, was definitely a deterrent for a lot of players. That's why definitely the turnout was a lot lower than a lot of other RBETs. But overall, besides issues that were related to the expo, I had a great time. And I definitely would recommend anyone else, if you have the opportunity to go travel to an RBET, whether you're going there for another reason, you just so happen to want to swing by for a day, or you're in the local area, absolutely. Get that going. It's so much fun, and you have definitely a pretty good shot, honestly, of topping. A lot of first-time toppers along with veterans, so it's always a good mix of people. And today I definitely got to ask the question: how did I go from 1-4 to 4-2? Because day one I did as terribly as you can possibly imagine. Snipe Hunter was literally missing every single die roll. Vegas luck. And there are definitely a lot of other factors, whether it's like me honestly making some misplays or facing really weird matchups, like a X-Saber deck that I definitely didn't think was an X-Saber deck until suddenly it was doing X-Saber things and was just OTKing me. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember those decks. You either wipe out your whole back row or all the cards in your hand. Great. So sometimes you just get OTK'd by the old OTK annoying deck in the format. So that was day one. Did the triple tomato setup, I feel like it was overall a very decent setup, but because there was just so many Blackwing players, I was really surprised, because at RBT New York, it was like 8, maybe 7 Value Turbo players and maybe 1 Blackwing player that I faced, and 3 Lightsworn players, and that freaking crazy Gear Town Frog deck. But besides that, just easy 2-0s against Vayu all day. So definitely wasn't expecting that. And so day two, I tweaked the list a little bit. I made it a little spicier, made it more specifically tuned for Blackwings, because my Blackwing side pattern was side these 10 cards in, and I was just like, what if we just main deck a bunch of them? Why not? And kind of modify this list a little bit. As you can tell, we did add the second Gigaplant to my Gigarillis deck, because I'll be honest, I think Gigaplant, once discovering that Damage Condenser is a card, it's this is amazing. Because I used to try and test UFO Turtle, which is terrible in so many ways. But the benefit that I always found behind UFO Turtle was having a Lone Fire on field without using your normal summon. So you can immediately tribute Special Gigaplant, Gemini summon, bring out Titanial, and just immediately you have a way more resilient board than you ever had with just Titanial. Because just Titanial, it's okay, that's a big monster. Okay, great, that's great. But your opponent has one targeting effect, one thing, Caius, everything. Yes, they lose the Caius, but now your Titanial's gone too, and you're kind of at square one. Whereas with, Gigarillis, you got a Gigaplant there too, your Titanial tributes itself off, you're like, all right, bro, I'm just gonna bring it right back next turn. And, plus whatever other top deck I'm drawing. So, it definitely helps a lot, because especially if your opponent can't out it and they don't have any monsters, well, next turn, bring out one more Titanial, and literally 2 Titanials plus a Gigaplant is 10,000 damage. So I feel like the math lines up a little too perfectly to ignore that fact. And that's why day 2 I managed to run 2 in my list, and honestly, it came up so much. One time I had a great game. I was up against a frog opponent. I was up against two frog opponents. Both of them I was able to beat. Thank goodness. First one, both of them, of course, went almost to time, like so close. I had like 3 minutes left on the clock starting game 3, and literally like I remember I just like set the damage condenser, passed. My opponent just like swings in with like a kaiku or whatever, hits me for some damage. I do it, bring out lone fire. Next turn, just and literally go to the extent where I'm brain controlling his kaiku. And even though he has a freaking wing blast that he used earlier in the combo, still able to like, okay, yeah, you got rid of like that early combo piece. Like I brought a Gigaplane, you know, wing blasted. I'm like, all right, well, I'm still comboing through that because that was nothing, and still OTK'd him. I was like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't have to go into damage. Was it end of time proceedings? I just was able to kill you within literally 2 minutes. So that's the power of Gigarillas, because like, you know, you're trading in your cars, cycle through your deck a little faster, and I feel like the main, because, you know, someone might say like, why don't you play regular Gigaplant? If you're loving Gigaplant so much, why not play Gigavice? And this is Gigavice, I'll say, because we do run Supervise. Okay, we run Supervise, so one Hidden Armory, or one Fertilizer plus Hidden Armory is still like full combo, regardless. That's why I love it. You don't have to freaking max out on all the equip bricks. You know, sometimes the equips are gas and it's like amazing to have, but sometimes if you only have equips and you have no plant access, it's literally you're just sitting on nothing. So that's why I like this build, because, you know, at max, yes, you're not probably getting the craziest board ever, but do you need the craziest board ever? You're probably already winning off of like 2 to 3 guys and then being able to +2 every turn. You're probably winning that game. Do you really need to sacrifice the floor of just having a complete brick hands so often? Where my deck is like, all right, you know, maybe you got like a tomato, a Sangan, maybe you have like a little, you know, some small moves, but at least you have something. Whereas it feels like a lot of time, you know, I play a lot of Gigavice too, you know, the pure Gigavice stuff. And yeah, you know, like the highs are high, but the lows, they get low. They get real low. And that's why I kind of wanted to try this variant, and it had worked really well in testing. And honestly, you know, I'll say probably one of the only downsides, if Keegan's watching, Keegan, I wish that we had been informed ahead of time that there would not be a top 16 day 2, even though I probably would have still gone, you know, because I'm already there in Vegas. Why wouldn't I go to day 2? It would have been nice to know, because again, the ticket is the same price. And yes, the winning final prize is also the final, like, is the same price, so, or is same pricing. So like, you know, you don't really have to worry about like, oh, you're getting skimped on the pricing, but because top 16 didn't get anything, that's why, you know, once I went X2, I'm like, all right, yeah, there's like really no reason. Even though like the 2 people I lost to, both top, it was like Frog Monarch and the same blocking player that apparently topped day 1. So, you know, I was like, all right, where'd I lose to him? It's fine. But oh my gosh, yeah, no, Frog Monarch, freaking Lad, oh my god, like I was able to out Lad, I was able to out Lad twice, but he always had the second one as backup, and it was like, oh my god, that's always the backbreaker, no. So, you know, stuff like that happens, you know, what are you gonna do? So overall, you know, I enjoyed RBET Las Vegas a lot, and I would say probably the other big takeaway from Vegas was the fact that even though my die roll luck with Snipe Hunter was horrendous, literally missing 4 out of 4, my Jane Mill luck, because Jane is a new inclusion. I have never taken Jane to a major event before, so this was a big thing for me. My Jane Mill luck, oh my god. It was good. Like my opponent once didn't mirror force Jane by himself. Like, hey, go ahead, keep your Jane. Mill's godly. I was like, oh my god, no. So yeah, no. That is my general rundown with Las Vegas, and I'm definitely gonna try to make it to Chicago. We'll see what happens. But until then, I'm the True Party King, and I hope you have an amazing day, and fill it with lots of very probing and productive questions. Because, yeah, when it came to the end of day 1, I felt really defeated. And it was really great that I was able to sort of pick myself up, reinvent myself, and actually do very decently well.